Hello, Internet! Today I have with me the other half of Team Cyberbars once again. Hello, Aaron.
Hey guys.
And this is the second to last week, actually, in the Multi-Battle League round-robin rounds. This time we've got Team Juice, so this will be an interesting one.
Yeah, it's really exciting since we're both 4-1. We're the only two teams that are 4-1 right now. So win here would secure basically the first place spot in the league. And even though I think last week we said we're secured for the playoffs, I think there might be some like crazy scenario where if everything goes wrong for us, we could still end up missing out. So win here would 100% secure it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I was talking through this with a few others this past week, and there
Hmm.
are some other teams out there hoping for 2 more wins, and they could potentially squeak into the top 4. Our resistance, or plus minus whatever you call it in this, isn't that good. We've only got +4 on the
Right.
knockouts,
Exactly.
so and we just haven't really taken that into consideration during games, thinking,
Yeah, yeah, because I know
but
we were just going for the wins the entire time,
yeah,
so
because
it's good to keep
that's
that in mind.
always been the most important thing.
Right.
Always
But at this
interesting.
point, oh,
Yeah,
sorry to
carry
cut
on.
you
Yeah.
off. Yeah, at this point, like a win either this week or next week 100% secures it, regardless of win-loss. Because right now, the interesting thing is that all the teams are still in striking distance of 4 wins. And so, since we are at 4 wins right now, as long as we win one of the next two, we should be 100% good. But I'm really excited for this since they're on top of the league. And, their team isn't like filled with established VGC players like Dreamball or Jamie. So it's really impressive that they've done really well.
Yeah.
I know Chimpak's a really, really established battler, so looking forward to this one.
Yeah, Chimp and Kenny.
Okay,
Yeah, I
yeah.
was going to actually note that I mean, no, obviously no disrespect to any of the players, but they don't specialize in VGC, so it is very impressive that they're up there.
Hmm.
They've got some interesting Pokemon too. I mean, we'll look at that in just a moment. I just also want to point out that Team Juice have actually got the highest, average base stat total out of any team. So
Hmm.
let's, flick over and have a look, and you can see there's lots of stats in this team, lots of interesting things, lots of things that VGC players don't normally come across too.
Yeah, and I think that's a testament to, their Pokemon ability in general because I think they drafted some really good Pokemon, especially Volcanion, Genesect, and Hoopa. Those are all, Pokemon that we don't have any experience with using, but I know like their Volcanion, their Genesect have taken so many knockouts throughout the course of the tournament. So that was something I was looking into just because we have to be very prepared for those. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they've got some, Pokemon we're more familiar with, especially Thundurus, Gardevoir, Clef. Crocodile is kind of interesting. Mega Blastoise is interesting as is Tangela. But overall, really, really strong team composition by them, and I think they had a really solid draft. I've watched all their games, and they're really good at battling too. So it should be a really exciting week.
Yeah, I think they're the team that have actually made like almost the craziest kind of techs for their
Hmm.
opponents as well. Like I'm sure one week they had a Thunderous without Thunderbolt, or like some crazy like that SmackDown and like
Yep,
Earthquake
they
with the
had SmackDown
Crocodile
last
last
week.
week, and
Yeah.
and this Volcanion is like #1 on the knockout list for the Multi Battle
Hmm.
League too. So
Hmm.
need to definitely watch out for that. I mean, they do have a very threatening team actually, and I don't know. I mean, yeah, like you're saying, there's some things that we are familiar with, but first thing, well, I suppose there's two things that we're kind of got into the habit of when we look at these teams now. We play the game of again, where's the goggles, and I think probably the Thunderous or the Volcanion are the likely targets for that on this team.
Mm.
The Clefairy obviously doesn't want it because it'll have the Eviolite. And also, what priority have they got on the team? If we might want to consider Deoxys, and priority attacks, the Cobalion can learn Quick Attack, but that doesn't want a KO. And
Yeah.
the Genesect, if it's an event Genesect, can have Extreme Speed,
Oh wow.
but the event Genesect is the only Genesect that gets Extreme Speed, and it's shiny. So if their Genesect isn't shiny, we can assume that it does not have Extreme Speed.
Good point.
So yeah, that one has to be hasty as well, just as a point
Okay.
of reference. But yeah, I mean, I've not had too long to look at this before we've been doing this video, and I'm not too sure how to go about this really.
Yeah, it's really tricky. I actually saw that. I think they had Stealth Rock on their Crocodile in one of the weeks, and so that's something else I'm really scared of because that completely threw us off when we
Oh yeah,
played Shofu and Barrow a couple of weeks back, and so that's something definitely thinking of too. It makes me think twice about bringing Volcarona because it just gets chunked for so much.
yeah, they have been using a very interesting Crocodile with like foul play, like almost every
Mm,
week I think as well, which
hmm.
is, I mean, it's strange, but it's been working for them, I guess.
Right. Although I suppose one interesting lead, I think I'm definitely looking at a Raichu as a support mon just because otherwise they can kind of spam Thunder Wave with
Yeah,
Thundurus. So yeah, something like a Raichu Volcarona lead could be interesting because Volca put in a lot of work, especially if it doesn't get like hit by a rock type attack or hit by stealth rocks right from the get go. Um, I think in general, dealing with Volcanion is going to be annoying as heck. I was actually looking up like its Smogon page and seeing what people use to counter, and they said Aerodactyl because it's faster and gets Rock Slide, but like then it can just scald you back, and it
Yeah,
just gets really powerful scalds off. So
yeah,
that's something I'm really scared of because Amoonguss, obviously just gets hit by its fire type attacks as well.
yeah. It is potentially going to be a scary Pokemon because I think Deoxys is probably the only thing that can one-shot it. I'll just, seeing as I've got the calculator open, I'll just calculate Lucario close combat onto it
Hmm.
because that might be close as well.
You know what base speed is it? Is it like a 99?
I
Something like
don't
that?
think it's that fast. It's
Oh, is it 70? I'm checking right now.
it is 70, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But, well, dang, it is quite bulky. It's got really good stats.
It is, and it definitely survives a close. It doesn't even need any investment. It just survives a close combat. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So we've only. I mean, I suppose they could easily, EV it to. It would need quite a bit of bulk, but they could EV it to survive a Psycho Boost from a Sash Deoxys too. So that is potentially going to be an issue for us. Um,
Mm.
I mean, yeah, I was thinking definitely the Raichu does look good here because they've got Thunderous. Raichu Volcarona does look quite nice. I was thinking also, what really could they do to stop Raichu and Azumarill? Because
Yeah, I just was thinking that too.
I mean, the only problem really with Raichu Volcarona or Raichu Azumarill is Volcanion does kind of wall both of them.
Hmm.
So it quad resists fire. It is immune to water as well. But it can't. I suppose it can burn the Azumarill with a steam eruption.
Yeah.
It can learn Rock Slide as well.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So and it
Okay,
has
yeah,
actually
then.
got its base attack is like 130, I think, too. So
Oh, God.
you never know. I mean, they could do that. You'd expect that. I mean, the crocodile might have Rock Slide. It might even be Scarfed. People have liked bringing Scarf Rock Slides against us too.
Hmm.
So there's an issue that I mean, it may be like they play singles. Maybe they'll be tempted with like Moxie and like Scarf Rock Slide or something like that. You never know.
Right. Yeah, a
Um,
lot of it hinges off, I feel like the lead matchup here because it's like Raichu Azumarill works really well against most things. And I was thinking like if we do go up against Volcanion, then if you like fake out Belly Drum turn one and turn two, you can like protect Nuzzle and then Azumarill just outspeeds Volcanion and can get like a knockoff, which probably isn't one hit KO, I would think.
yeah,
Once you're at +6.
yeah,
But then the question is like what's its partner?
yes. I don't know. I mean, I think probably something like that Gardevoir might
Right.
lead. Yeah, I
Like I
don't.
would love to see them bring Thundurus because I feel like Thundurus is really good against our team, but because we have Raichu, that might just dissuade them from touching it at all.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't bring Thunderous, then I suppose that would give free reign a bit more to the Azumarill, maybe the Aerodactyl if you wanted to bring that, maybe the Pinsir if you wanted to bring
Mm,
that too.
hmm.
I mean, Tangela is something that is often overlooked, but it is actually a defensive monster. It can take some massive attacks, Tangela,
Hmm.
and it can Rage Powder, it can Sleep Powder. It's just like an unreliable Amoonguss, basically, with only one type.
Yeah, yeah.
And Hooper, they've not really used this Hooper confined or whatever it's called form. I don't think at all or much in this whole tournament. And it's actually got really nasty stats as well, like base special attack 150 too. So it
Oh
can Trick
dear.
Room as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know how much, like if they're going to come into this with a plan, thinking, okay, we're going to go Trick Room or any kind of speed control options. But it's I don't know, it's scary this.
Yeah, it's just tricky because they have two means of redirection with Clef and Tangela. Um, Although interesting enough, yeah, actually never, yeah. And then they have like Fake Out with Mega Blastoise. Actually, Mega Blastoise can redirect as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's follow me.
And then they have two Trick Room options with both the Gardevoir and the Hoopa. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we want to bring a Moongus just in case they do go for Trick Room.
Yeah, and if we do, I mean, I think we do definitely want Azumarill in this match.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
combination of Azumarill and the Moongus should hopefully cover us from that.
yeah.
So, I mean, I think already not you Aerodactyl, not you again. I can't even get Raichu this time. Raichu. Okay. go out the way, Aerodactyl. Okay, so we do want we do want Raichu. I think we are already decided on that.
Yeah, same with the Zumro and Amoonguss, I think.
And I think the Volcarona we do want to, just because if we don't take the Volcarona,
Mm.
then that Genesect, the Tangela, the Cobalion potentially. I don't know, maybe not so much the Cobalion, but some other things could look quite scary.
Yeah, no, I think Volk is good because it still hits their team really hard if we can manage to
Yeah,
get it in the right
yeah,
position.
they have no wide guard options.
Right.
But I don't know, like I was thinking, just as a sort of a random thought, we could maybe use something like Quick Guard on the Lucario and like partner
Hmm.
it with a Deoxys or something, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that would work out. It's just the main fear is like, do we have? I guess like if we look at last week, the reason why Deoxys was able to do so well is because we were able to eliminate one Pokemon instantly through Feint, while the other one didn't do anything.
Yeah,
So if there's like something like a Crocodile against both Deoxys and Lucario, like that could be scary because then it could just Earthquake and like knock both of us out
yeah,
or something like
yeah.
that. What priority do they have again? I mean, I know there's obviously Thunder Wave from Thundurus, and then you said a Quick Attack from Cobalion.
Yeah, which they probably won't use because it really does nothing. It does well. I say it does nothing. It does like 60% to Deoxys attack. Yeah, the only real priority attack they've got is Extreme Speed from the Genesect, as
Hmm.
far as I can see. I'm not sure if Blastoise learns Aqua Jet or not, but I wouldn't imagine that would one-shot Deoxys either.
Right. Let's see. I don't know very much about Hoopa. It's Ghost Psychic, really bad defense. So maybe Weavile might be worth bringing here to counter that,
Maybe. Um, Weavile.
because it's easily one hit KO'd by a Dark type attack, basically,
Yeah,
physical Dark type attack.
that is right. And well, I mean, Deoxys could have knockoff as well.
Ah, yeah, true.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. Deoxys still is solid here, I think, especially because of lack of priority on their end.
yes, yeah. I
Like I
am.
like sashing it just and
Yeah,
bringing it here.
yeah, same. Like it's not like we're stretched sash wise already. Like nothing so far would want the sash.
Exactly. Right.
So like, I think I don't know. I'll put it. I'll leave it down there just for a moment. But but I do think Deoxys is definitely worth considering. But also maybe Aerodactyl.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is if they don't have extreme speed on Genesect, let's say we see it's just a normal looking Genesect, then it's probably going to be Scarfed, I would imagine, and then a Scarf Iron Head would knock out Aerodactyl. A Scarf, I wonder if it has anything that can one shot the
Volk.
Volcarona.
Yeah,
It'll
I'm
learn
looking at
Aerial
it.
Ace, but that won't one shot it.
No Rock Slide. It doesn't get access to that. That's good. Or
Yeah.
Stone Edge. So I don't think so, unless it has like Hidden Power Rock, which I could see them
Yeah,
teching.
yeah, I definitely could see them using that too. But even
Yeah,
still, the Volcarona we have been using has been pretty bulky, but it has got a download, hasn't it? So it might even get a
mm,
special attack boost.
yeah. I think Scarf is definitely the most common item. Otherwise, I could see something like Life Orb
Yeah.
or Sash, maybe. But
But if they
yeah, we
do
definitely should
scarf
be on
it,
watch out.
they're not. I don't think they've got any spread moves that that are good that Genesect can do. So it's only going to be attacking one thing each turn. So
Right, right.
if we did have Deoxys out, then either like if we have got a Sash in it too, then they're kind of forced to target that really. So
Yeah.
so maybe that Genesect isn't so scary, but it's still kind of a bit scary at the same time.
Yeah, I think the trickiest thing about this matchup is they have a lot of really good offensive members, and it's a little bit harder to read like what's going to pair up with what, because they could really play this in so many different ways. So I think for
Yeah,
this, it's like harder to come up with a game plan. It's more like, all right, let's just bring whatever we can, go
yeah.
into team previews. They have what they don't have, and go from there.
Yeah, and like we haven't even really talked about God of War too much either, and that can definitely be easy to take some nasty hits, and a hyper voice back from that will do with like a 60% or something to the Azuma roll, and it'll one
We
shot
could
the
consider wide guard for that on Aerodactyl if we bring it.
maybe, yeah. Um, I wonder if Life Orb Ironhead knocks out God of War. Hmm.
Hmm.
What's
I'm
there?
also curious on how much a rock slide does to Volcanion.
Yeah, I've got the thing open. I'll look at God of War first. Um,
It's just I just like don't understand how the Smogon page says like Aerodactyl is like a check to Volcanion because like it just gets knocked out in return.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused on that, but let's see.
Okay, so Aerodactyl. Let's have a look again. Would we need Aerodactyl to be jolly, or could we go adamant?
You
We
could
could.
I their team doesn't look very like I don't think we need the speed that much because they're not really around the base 130.
Um, let's think. Adamant. Yeah, adamant Aerodactyl does still outspeed timid max speed Thunderous.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, yeah, adamant Life Orb Ironhead does to a Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir with no bulk, it does 110 to 130%.
Oh wow.
So that's okay, actually.
Yeah, and it's also Rock Slide does over 50% to Volcanion with Life Orb, and that's assuming they're max HP.
That's right, yeah. Oh, yeah, it does well over half. Yeah. Yeah, if you're adamant too, yeah. Hmm. Okay. I quite liked the Life Orb Aerodactyl last week.
Yeah, same.
I mean, okay, so again, if they don't scarf their Genocide, let's say it is an extreme speed one, then maybe they are going to scarf the Crocodile, in which case we could have Wide Guard again on the Aerodactyl.
Mm-hmm.
And that would prevent us from being hit by anything other than Crunch or Knockoff, I suppose.
Right. The question is, because Skydrop is still really interesting. I think it like pairs very nicely with our team because like we used it week one against Dream Ball and that was really helpful. And one thing that I actually blundered on last week is I forgot Skydrop doesn't go through or it goes through
Yeah,
redirection. So
yeah.
Clef and like if you have Clef or Tangela out and like basically if you since you can Skydrop its partner for free, then you're basically guaranteed to kind of waste a turn of theirs because it's not like Clef or Tangela can really do very much support wise other than maybe status conditions. So
That's right,
that could
yeah.
be interesting if we're in a position where it's like Aerodactyl against those.
Yeah, but let's say if we did have like Aerodactyl and Deoxys, then are we happy leaving behind both of our Megas and Weavile and Smeargle too?
Right, right.
I mean, I'm not really looking at Smeargle in this matchup thinking that
Yeah,
it's going to do too
agreed.
much either.
Agreed, definitely.
So I think we can
Um,
take that one out of the equation. I'm not really convinced on Pinsir either,
yeah.
but
What's Pincer's base speed again?
105, it is faster than Gardevoir.
Hmm.
Slower than Cobalion though.
Right, because it does hit most of their team for neutral, right? Pretty much everything bar Thunders.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm not sold. It could be worth bringing. I'm just yeah, I think
I
because
mean,
we end up
Lucario's
bringing
in the
eight up.
same boat, I suppose. I mean, it can still
Yeah,
do, but then we've got maybe Bullet Punch, maybe potentially Quick Guard if we did want to go down that route too.
right, right.
But if we did want Quick Guard, then we'd have to really have Deoxys, else it'd be pointless. um, or Faint,
Yeah,
maybe.
neither of the megas here are like, oh, they're so good. Like I think the non-megas actually are a lot better in this matchup just because they're a little bit bulkier here.
Yeah. I do like
Um,
that actually every Pokemon on our team, apart from Smeargle, has actually taken a knockout in this multi-battle league as well.
oh, has it really? Wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
Yeah, Volcarona and Azumarill are the ones that have knocked out the most things. As
Yeah,
you can imagine, I
unsurprisingly.
suppose, yeah.
Right, right.
Um,
Um, hmm.
the Weavile, what would the Weavile do other than hitting the Hooper? I suppose
You
it could threaten the Crocodile.
Yeah, and fake out pressure, knock off for the Eviolites on the two baby Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah,
But other than that, yeah, it's kind of like it's not very good, but it can put you into a very good position if, especially if you have a Zoomer or Volk out, like Weavile just comes in and it gets you another fake out.
yeah. Fake out does seem to be pretty good for us in this.
Yeah. Because I don't know, setting up I think against their team will be a little bit more difficult in general. But once again, I mean, Azumarill and Volk are just always such big threats, and we saw that last week where we got ourselves in the perfect position where we got the setup and then kind of just swept from there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, now that we've had a little bit of a thought about Aerodactyl, how would you feel about leading something like Raichu Aerodactyl? I suppose if they
Yeah,
led with Crocodile, then that wouldn't be too good, because then they'd
right,
possibly get the Intimidate on us, and then we wouldn't be able to get the one hit on the Gardevoir.
right.
Um, and if they did go with Stealth Rocks, then Volcarona, if we led with that, it would avoid damage obviously too.
Hmm.
Um, But I don't know. I mean, Aerodactyl does actually look pretty good against the team. It's only really threatened by Thunderous and the two water types.
Right. No, actually, I really like that. Yeah. And then because we have a Mungus, like Crocodile doesn't do anything against a Mungus, so we could potentially like trap them in where they are in a position where a Mungus basically gets a free spore off.
Yeah, yeah. I can't see them using goggles. Maybe Lumberry on the Crocodile, but
Yeah.
still, it's not gonna. We can just Giga Drain it to to unconsciousness, not death.
Yeah.
um,
But I know I like Aerodactyl a lot. Just in general, I think we should bring it into this
yeah,
matchup.
yeah. I agree. Let's. I mean, we have won every game that we've brought Aerodactyl, so
Right. Because especially with the Life Orb and the Iron Head, like one, that's a really cool trick to just knock out Gardevoir, but two, Rock Slide exerts a lot of pressure against both Thunders and Canyon,
that's right.
and
Yeah,
those are the three overused picks that they had in the draft. So being able to check the three, strongest Pokemon theoretically on their team is really good.
yeah. And if they do scarf their Crocodile, then we can potentially wide guard on maybe a Rock Slide as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Earthquake isn't too threatening because they can't freely Earthquake. They've got nothing else apart from the Thunderous that they can Earthquake on.
Oh, good point. Yeah,
So,
that's really interesting.
yeah.
The lack of resistance is there.
Maybe that's why they've been using more of a support one then, with foul
hmm
play and everything. Hmm.
So then that kind of begs the question. I don't know. To me, I think we drop Pinsir and Smeargle and bring the first eight into team preview.
Yeah.
The question is, which six do we like? We prioritized five already, and then it's like, which sixth one do we think will be probably the best one?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like we were saying last week, we maybe try and be a bit more flexible about it, and maybe think
Right.
about which six we do want to take. But if they don't have something, maybe something else would be a bit more of an advantage for us. I mean, I really can't see them not bringing the Genesect though. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, maybe we could say if they haven't got a Genesect, then we can bring Deoxys. But I think they will bring the Genesect.
hmm
Um, so this is, I mean, again, we can put a case for each of these three, really: Lucario, Weavile, and Deoxys.
Right, right. Um, Weavile was really good last week, but that was against a very different team composition, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, looking at the five we've got there, only two of them really are real big hitters. I suppose maybe Aerodactyl is too, but I suppose all three of these are pretty big hitters too. I mean, the
mm,
Lucario and Deoxys especially.
right. Let's see. With Weavile, since we don't have a Sash yet, I mean, we could Sash either Deoxys or Weavile if we bring it, which I'd
Yeah.
probably prefer in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
matchup.
Yeah, same.
Um, Weavile does allow us to have a surefire answer against the Hoopa, whereas if we don't bring it right now, it's a little bit. I mean, we could have knockoff, like you said, on
Yeah.
Deoxys as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
I just,
Deoxys will
yeah,
just knock it out.
I think both Hoopa and Genesect are like Pokemon that are like they're really strong, but because they're four times weak to types, like we just want to be able to knock them out before they do anything, because otherwise they can kind of sweep through teams.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, if we are using a sash, then really the only advantage over Deoxys that Weavile has is that it can have Fake Out and maybe Feint.
Right.
Otherwise, they're both, glass cannons in inverted commas. With a focus sash, makes no difference really to the timing.
Right.
And
Right.
Deoxys is so versatile that it can Ice Beam, it can knock off and everything too. So
Right.
the question is, do we want a little bit more power with Deoxys, or do we want the option to Fake Out with Weavile? I guess.
Yeah, I'm curious on the Psycho Boost calcs on in general.
Yeah, I did the Psycho Boost calculation earlier on Vol Canyon, I think, and I think they need to guarantee the survival. I think they need like max HP and a little bit of special defense as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
it is possible for them to EV that, but they're doing it at the cost of. I mean, they're probably not even going to bother with speed, to be honest. If they're not going to go
Yeah,
Trick Room, then
right.
why would they bother investing in speed against our team?
Yeah, I was watching some of their own team builder videos, and they did go on the bulk route. So it's like if we bring Deoxys, we can't guarantee a knockout onto it, which is a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
But a little bit chip up damage obviously could help out there.
Yeah, yeah. Like if we were in a situation with like Aerodactyl and Deoxys out, then that would be pretty good for us.
Right.
And I suppose Aerodactyl could actually help us get around extreme speed a little bit. We could protect Deoxys, Sky Drop the Genesect, and then
Mm,
Deoxys
mm.
would be free next turn too.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah, maybe
Um,
Deoxys is the call here with Sash, because it still just does so much damage with Psycho Boost.
yeah, yeah,
But then the question is, what should the other moves be? Because we need, I don't know, having a way to hit Crocodile would be nice, and hitting Gardevoir for super effective, or just in general would be nice too.
yeah. I mean, again, I think we looked at it last week. Poison Jab, on a no bulk Gardevoir does, I think, I did this calculation earlier, I think it's just over 100% minimum, but that's on the
Hmm.
no bulk Gardevoir again.
Right, right.
So, again, with some chip damage, then I'm sure it will get it. But I don't know. I mean, we've kind of ignored that Blastoise too, and it could actually do some work. I mean, at least we know that Amoonguss is a pretty safe switch into it. It can Ice Beam, but it can't hold the goggles or anything, so it should be a free Spore.
Yeah, I think our Amoonguss this week should definitely just be like full special defense
Yeah,
uh, to
yeah.
take any potential. And then the question is, what item do we want on it? Like
Ooh,
Aqua Berry
hmm.
or a
Good
Psychic
question.
Resist Pyapa Berry? I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing really that they've got that can one-shot is Psychic. Maybe if they left their Thunderous in the back, they could get a sneaky Taunt on us later.
Right.
They could put Taunt on the Crocodile. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Or Kabalion. I can't see them bringing Kabalion.
Yeah, I don't think it's very good here for them. Let's see. I'm looking at calcs right now. Yeah, if we just go like max special attack and special defense Amoonguss, then Psychic can't even knock us out even without a resisting berry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and I'm looking for Volcanion right now, how much that would do with like a Fire Blast.
Yeah, I
Because
think
that's
they
my other
normally go
fear.
with Heat Wave, but I suppose Fire Blast or Overheat would be the worst case scenario.
Right. Let's see. Yep, they can't knock us out either if we're just max HP special defense. That's
Okay.
cool. Wow. So we could just go max HP, max special defense, throw a mental orb onto it to ensure that nothing can one hit KO us and maybe guarantee a spore as well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that would really warrant being used on there.
Yeah, because I think spore would really disrupt their team.
Yeah, yeah, it would do. Yeah. So, hmm. If we were going to go with Deoxys then, we'd have Psycho Boost, and I wonder what Psycho Boost calculation is on Hooper. Let's have a look. Hooper, normal Hooper. That's Aerodactyl. Okay, Psycho Boost. Onto Hooper. Oh wow, that does nothing. Is that real?
How
Psycho
much is
Boost.
it?
Psycho Boost maxed special attack, no boosting items, on a regular Hooper does maximum of 46%.
Hoopa is psychic, right?
Oh yeah,
So
of course
resistant.
it is. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's. I'm glad I got that mistake out of the way right now.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay. I literally had no idea what it did before this league started. I remember I was watching how Marcus and Wolf actually prepared last week, and they're like, "What does Hoopa do? What type is it?" Like, that's like
Yeah.
it's okay. I don't feel as bad.
Psychic. Yeah, it must be the only psychic ghost in the game then, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no. Yeah. No wonder Psycho Boost does so little then. Yeah. So we could have knockoff, I suppose. Um,
We
Knockoff.
could also still go Life Orb on Deoxys since I guess there's less fear of priority from their end at this point. But I don't know. Sash was really nice last week.
Yeah, I did like the sash. I mean, it's just nice to have that kind of insurance that
Right.
we're not just going to lose such a big hitter so freely.
I'm just
Um,
wondering because Life Orb could mean that we do guarantee a knockout onto the Volcanion, which could be huge. But then again, it's like that's a kind of specific scenario.
yeah, I mean, the rest of our team is going to be faster than the Volcanion anyway, so maybe like a Rock Slide and the Psycho Boost, or like
Right.
I don't know, a
Even a
whatever.
Heat Wave like just does a little bit of chipping.
Yeah,
Although I
maybe.
suppose it is 4 times resist. So
Yeah, or like a Thunderbolt or something from Raichu. It'll still,
right,
which actually
right.
that's super effective, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
yeah,
But that's
same.
a good point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fire, water, such a weird typing.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Thunderbolt.
Sash Deoxys might be the way to go here.
Yeah, yeah,
So like I would probably bring that up there with the 6, and then like I'd probably have Lucario and Weavile's flex picks.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so moves for Deoxys. Do we want knockoff on it? I suppose it is nice insurance for um the Hooper and Hmm.
Yeah, even though it doesn't really do much against everything else, I think just having it for Hoopa is still good enough because that could throw them off guard.
Yeah, I mean, Ice Beam would also be good for the Crocodile.
Mm.
But would we need any other moves? I mean, Hidden Power Fire again to hit the Genesect, maybe, but
Right.
maybe that's not absolutely required. Uh,
Um, I'm trying to think. Honestly, because HP Fire would be nice, because then that's like two ways to knock out two of their more offensive members. But that does mean that Crocodile would basically wall us.
yeah.
Although I suppose if you have Azumarill and a Mungus, it's not like Crook can do very much against either of those, so then we can just switch them in and potentially set up or Spore.
Yeah, that does assume. I mean, the problem with the Azumarill and the Amoonguss is they're slow, and we need to
Yeah,
like set the Azumarill up before it does threaten the
right,
Crocodile kind of thing.
right.
Although I suppose Protect Spore also works as well if they haven't got a Lumberry. Um, yeah, I mean I think these are definitely the eight that we're gonna take, and I'm quite happy with these six. But yeah, we've got a few little things to iron out. I suppose Belly Drum Azumarill again will work out. Quiver
Yeah,
Dance
Belly Drum
Volcarona,
Zoom. I think max HP, max special defense Amoonguss.
yeah.
Typical moveset there. For Volk,
Giga
when it
Drain
comes to,
again.
yeah, I think Giga Drain is a little bit more. Yeah, actually, it's a lot better
Yeah,
because
we
they have
can hit the
Blastoise too.
Crocodile and the
Yep,
Blastoise.
Blastoise,
Um,
Crook, and neutral against Volcanion.
yeah,
And then once we get a Quiver Dance up, they shouldn't be even able to do too much damage.
yeah. I mean, I think looking at their team outside of Crocodile and possibly the Genesect, and we're ignoring the Cavalier, the rest of their team looks really, really special. So, like Assault Vest Raichu again could do a lot of work
Yes,
here.
yes, I think definitely the Assault Vest here, especially because they have got Gardevoir. Okay, yeah, just their whole team is pretty special oriented.
Yeah.
Uh, so I like that a lot.
I
Fake
suppose if we
out.
do start throwing Nuzzles around, we do have to be a little bit more wary about a Trick Room potentially.
Right, good
But
point.
situational, we can look at
Yeah,
that
I
at the
think
time.
Nuzzle's still good enough to have where it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
and it combines obviously nicely with Aerodactyl. Like we saw that last week where we got Nuzzle off first, and then Aerodactyl could just rock slide things, and that just makes RNG more in our favor as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yes, Aerodactyl, Rock Slide, Sky Drop, Wide Guard, Iron Head.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose we're dropping Tailwind, but look, we're already faster, aren't we? So,
Right. It's like we're already faster, and the things that aren't faster aren't really aiming to be faster anyway, because Azumarill and Amoonguss, like Azumarill kind of relies on just Aqua Jets more, and Amoonguss,
yeah.
you're not going to be faster.
Yeah, like I know Genesect can learn Fly, but I'm pretty sure they have not got any Tailwind options of their own on their team.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I don't think we need Tailwind. And I guess yeah, Deoxys. So this is the only one that we need to actually sort of iron out the moves for. So we definitely want Protect. We definitely want
Yes.
Psycho Boost.
Yes.
And then the other two moves are going to be either maybe Ice Beam, Knock Off, Hidden Power, Fire.
Hmm.
I
So I guess
suppose.
two of the three from that pool.
So what does Hidden Power Fire hit then? It hits the Genesect. It hits the Tangela.
Right. It's basically a tech for Genesect.
Yeah. Um. I mean the
I
knock
don't know. I
off.
think it could be worth bringing still, just because like when you look at how we can hit Genesect with our team, Volcarona right now is the only real reliable answer.
Yeah.
So just having another random tech move could mean that because we're like kind of covered for all the other Pokemon with the all like we have ways to deal with all of the others and we can potentially set up against those. But I don't know, Genesect's just kind of a wild card here for me, so I wouldn't mind just teching HP Fire.
Yeah. It would guarantee the knockout. I'm just doing the knockoff calculation. Knockoff does just over half to Genesect as
Oh
well.
wow, that's still pretty good.
That is max attack Deoxys though. So
Okay.
I mean we can twiddle with our spreads and whatever after, but
Hmm.
just a ballpark figure there. So knockoff does still hit it decently well. Um, Ice Beam. Do we want Ice Beam? I mean, again, I suppose Crocodile does wall us otherwise.
Yeah. Mm.
And it well, I
Is
suppose it
is
hits
is it a
still goes
what? I'd
through, but
assume it's a one hit KO on Crocodile, right?
I would have
Got it.
thought so. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
unless they assault vest it or whatever.
Yeah, maybe Ice Beam's actually better than I just don't like the idea of Crocodile being able to stay there and kind of wall us
Yeah,
because
and
it
actually,
threatens us
oh, well, actually,
offensively.
yeah. I mean, looking at the disregarding Deoxys, I would say Crocodile is probably harder to hit for us than Genesect is. I mean,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
we've just got the Azumarill there. Oh, I suppose
Right.
we've
Right.
got Amoonguss too, haven't we?
Amoonguss, yeah.
And Giga Drain and Volcarona. So
I mean, I guess we could choose to go Ice Beam, knockoff Psycho Boost, and then just forego Hidden Power. Or sorry, get rid of don't use knockoff, and then go for uh, what's it? Ice Beam and HP Fire, because like if we bring Weavile in team preview, they might just be scared enough not to even bring Hoopa.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I mean, they haven't used it that much, so maybe they don't have that much confidence in it.
Yeah, like I
And
think Genesect and Crocodile I am more afraid of.
yeah, yeah,
That would mean playing around Hoopa is going to be interesting if they do bring it,
yeah. It would
because then
mean
we don't have
that,
a way to one hit KO it.
yeah, in a situation where they could possibly get Trick Room, we wouldn't be able to stop that
Yeah.
if we did have
I'm not too
Dynamo.
worried about Trick Room though, since we have Amoonguss, then we just put everything on their
Yeah,
end to sleep.
yeah. And I suppose we can Sky Drop if we're that desperate too, and all the
Yeah,
rest of it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe. Okay, so Ice Beam and Hidden Power Fire then.
Yep, and then Psycho Boost.
Yeah, and Protect.
And that hits pretty much almost everything, bar maybe Gardevoir and maybe Hoopa, but that like we have pretty easy ways to deal with those as well.
Well, the Gardevoir is a little bit worrying. I mean, disregarding Iron Head on the Aerodactyl. How?
Yeah, I think if anything, like Volk is probably gonna want to try to set up against
Yeah,
it if possible.
yeah,
Although a Psychic, I suppose, would still do a fair amount of damage, but
yeah,
not enough that it would be major. But yeah, I know Gardevoir's a threat. It really comes down to positioning, honestly. Like this game, it's harder to prepare for. It's more like we just got to play it by ear once we get into it.
yeah. Again, they might be like worried about a Bullet Punch or something if we were to take
Mm.
Lucario too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, well, we'll take these 8, and we'll probably have these 6 in mind, but we'll see how we feel on Team Preview then, I guess.
Yeah, what sets are we thinking for Lucario and Weavile?
Weavile, I suppose. Oh,
It's
maybe.
really the item on Weavile
Yeah, I suppose
that
we could
what
go
we.
Fling King's Rock, seeing as we've got Sash
Oh
and
yeah, actually yeah, no,
and
that's a
Life
great
Orb
idea.
used.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah,
And then
and
for Lucario,
Lucario,
uh,
maybe follow me.
ooh, that's interesting.
Hmm.
Although their team is kind of spread based,
Yeah,
but
yeah. But at
yeah, I
least it
like
would
that.
stop like a. Oh, I suppose. Yeah. Hmm.
Trying to think, because we had the Swords Dance variant from earlier. I don't know, because if you get a Swords Dance up with Lucario, their whole team is kind of
Yeah.
wrecked with combat.
Yeah, that would one shot pretty much everything.
Yeah, so we could just reuse that,
Yeah,
and
we could do.
I don't expect to bring it, but
Yeah, yeah, just as
in
an
case we like
option.
decide
Yeah.
twice in team review.
Yeah. All right then.
Okay.
Well, we've been talking for a bit now, so I think we're decided these are the ones that we're going to be taking. So stay tuned. This I think will be going up on Friday, depending on how scheduling turns out. The battle will be on Cybertron's channel at some point after this video goes online, probably tomorrow. All right. So thanks again for joining me, Aaron,
Yep, thank you.
and we'll see you tomorrow on Cybertron's channel. So goodbye for now.